First of all, I'd like to wish everyone a happy Purim. Today is the day of Purim, and we're learning here the Musar for Thursday for Parashat Tissa in Chok Israel. Ta'avat ta'anugim ra'a mikol ha'nizkar le'el. So the lust for pleasure, for the pleasures of this world, the desire and lust and craving for that is worse than everything else we've discussed until now in previous classes of Musar. Ki bihiyoto gargeran, because if a person is gluttonous, he wants gluttony, Yevi'ehu is going to bring him lidechemda, to covet, vegezel, to theft. He will steal in order to satisfy his lust for desires, for pleasures. Ushvuat sheker, it will bring him to take false oaths, which is very serious. Vesinata biriyot, it will bring him to hate people. Vekin'ah, and to have also jealousy. Domele Esav, just like Esav shene'emar bo, al itenina mina adom hazeh. Just like Esav, he had such craving and desire that he told Yaakov, pour the lentil soup into my mouth. He wanted to have plenty. He had that craving and desire and lust for the pleasures of this world. Ve'alav ne'emar, ve'samta sakin bero'echa ki ba'im ba'al nefesh ata. So that's why he brings a pasuk here to have restraint, to have self-control when it comes to food and to desire for the pleasure of eating, because if not, the person might come to eat even foods that is not kosher, like nevelot, utrefot. And truly, we have many laws that have to do with kashrut that demand from us to have self-control, and that's very, very important. This started actually from the time of Adam HaRishon, when he was told, don't eat from the forbidden fruit, from Etz HaDa'at. This aspect is very connected to Purim, because on Purim, when we think about Haman, Harasha, the wicked Haman, he's a descendant of Amalek. Amalek is a descendant of Esav. And they had the approach of wanting more and more material, craving for the desire to satisfy all their desires. On Purim, we celebrate Purim with simcha, with joy, with happiness. And even though we have a meal, we are actually sanctifying the meal to become something to serve Hashem, to praise Hashem, not to satisfy our own lust for or desire or cravings for more and more food or more and more material. Uchtivu Bittan reshaim Tissa. And it says, Uchtivu kol amal ha'adam lefiu. It says here that all the effort, the toil of a person, lefiu, for his mouth. In other words, the self-control, the restraint that is demanded from one that started already at Adam HaRishon is something that continues throughout the ages. Uchtivu Bittan reshaim Tissa. And it says here, Bittan reshaim Tissa, the belly of the wicked will always feel like it's lacking, like it's empty, always wants more and more. That's Haman, that's Amalek, that's also all the parties that Achashverosh had that we're told in the Megillat Esther, 180 days of food, eating, meals and drinking and wine, etc. Really a kind of hedonistic type of approach of just self-satisfying in terms of the cravings and the lust that they had. That's for the Reshaim. They always feel like they're lacking. And on the opposite, when a person is satisfied with what he has, like who's the really wealthy one is the person that is satisfied with his lot. The month of Adar, where we celebrate Purim, according to Bnei Yisachar, parallels the tribe of Naphtali. And Naphtali says, Seva Ratzon, he was satisfied, he was happy. And the Musa continues, Uchtiv vayishman yeshurun vayiv'at vaytosh Eloah asahu ki mevi'o lichosh b'shem yitbarach. And he quotes a pasuk, says, when Yeshurun became fat, when a person goes after more food and more material and fattened, then what happens afterwards? He abandoned Hashem, who made him. And because it says here, because it leads a person to even deny Hashem. Haz v'shalom. Kemosh katuv, ben ezma v'chichashti v'amati mi Hashem. And it says here, because maybe the pasuk says in Proverbs, lest I be full and deny and say, who's Hashem? So self-restraint is very important. And when we come to a day like Purim, when we celebrate with a meal, the Su'udat mitzvah, it's done not to satisfy our cravings. It's to actually sanctify it. And that's what we're doing. We mekachim. We are sanctifying the activity of the meal. Very different than the approach of Esav and Amalek and Haman and the likes of them, which is only for self-satisfaction. Ve'amati, mi Hashem, ועל כל העבירות אין קטן נענש ובן שרו ומורה שאכל תמר בשר וחצי לוג יין נזכל ואמרו לו תנס ברכה מנהג הרשעים אכול בשר ושתות יין. So he brings here an example that the young child, the rebellious child, which is ben sorer umore, the reason why he's punished is because he was gluttonous to the extent of eating like type of raw meat or half cooked and drinking wine. And he says here, the minhag of the Rishaim, the custom of the wicked, is to eat meat and drink wine. וכתיב, אם יכופר העוון הזה לכם, אל תמותון. ואמר אליהו זיכרונו לברכה, Eliyahu Navi said, the Rabbi Yehuda told Rabbi Yehuda, לא תרווה, do not become drunk, ולא תחטא, and you will not sin. So on a day like Purim, where, of course, we have to get into the spirit of Purim, and yes, people are to drink just a sip, not to get drunk. Just to drink a sip, to drink enough to just get into the spirit of the happiness and the joy and the celebration and the satisfaction that is associated with Purim. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen.